is Cass Fry, the co-founder of Detroit CHEMpreneurIST, shared Detroit-supported charity and nonprofit with us on the Michigan Megacast. Cass, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to co-found this organization?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, my name is Cass Fry, and I'm a chemist and an entrepreneur, as well as a co-founder, board member, and the personal care chemistry instructor of Detroit CHEMpreneurIST. So I received my degree in chemistry and biological sciences from Wayne State University. And from there, I've worked in the cosmetic and pharmaceutical industry for nearly a decade. And I've always had a passion for learning and sharing my knowledge. And that's really what led me to co-found Detroit CHEMpreneurIST.
And so let's talk about the name of the organization, Detroit CHEMpreneurIST. What is the goal of this organization? I'm getting it's chemistry, it's a little bit about entrepreneurship. What ultimately is your organization hoping to accomplish out in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a little bit of a play on words. As you can see, we can pull out the chemist and the entrepreneur. So our program focuses teaching students chemistry and entrepreneurship. So we utilize those two main topics to come up with our name. We are based in Detroit, so we included the Detroit, but one day we hope to have CHEMpreneurIST all over the country and all over the world. We formed in November of 2020, and we are a 501(c) nonprofit organization. I'm a co-founder. We also have another co-founder, Brittany Mitchell-Kelly. And the reason that we kind of came together and formed this organization is we both noticed different problems in our industry. In my industry, I was noticing a significant lack of diversity. Not only were women underrepresented in the cosmetic and personal care industry, but also Black, Indigenous, and people of color were underrepresented in the industry. And I found that these business owners who were selling cosmetic and personal care products to consumers did not look like the people who were buying those products. Brittany is an educator and a social worker, and so she's been in the teaching in the schools for almost a decade as well. And one of the things that she noticed is overall in schools, there is a focus on standardized testing. So a lot of the science and different programs get pushed to the side, especially around the time of the test and getting prepared for the test and making sure that students can study and are prepared for those exams. And so in 2014, Brittany and some of my other fellow educator friends started to bring me into their classrooms to speak to the students about what I was doing. And from there, that kind of just spiraled into eventually creating this organization after going into these classrooms and seeing the impact that we were having with the students and the interest they had in this topic that they didn't even know existed, and they look at the personal care products or the cosmetic products that they use every day. They never think that a chemist has to develop this product or a graphic designer has to design this container. And so through that and those interactions, we really formed Detroit CHEMpreneurIST. And our overall goal is to expose students through an after-school and summer program to personal care chemistry and entrepreneurship, with the idea that not only could they be a chemist one day, but they could be an entrepreneur and start their own business. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have to create these cosmetic products. A lot of the entrepreneurial skill sets that we teach are applicable throughout all of life.
More information on their website, DetroitChempreneurIST.org. That's DetroitChempreneurIST.org, or by visiting ShareDetroit.org, where they are listed as one of nearly 300 charities and nonprofits in the Detroit area supported on the Shared Detroit platform. And so, as you're going into these classrooms, as your organization is interacting with these kids and attempting to inspire an interest in science, an interest in entrepreneurship, combining those two interests together, even in some senses with today's kids and all the distractions in their classrooms and all the difficulties that are associated with modern day education. Do you find that it's still something that kids can get really interested in really quickly when you're applying some of these real world concepts to the science that they're learning in school each and every day?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we see is kids are really interested in making their own money. They're already starting to think about what am I going to do when I'm older, and they want to buy things like toys and candy and all of those great things. So really being able to say, hey, you can have your own business and you don't have to wait to do it. You can start it right now in middle school or high school, and it doesn't, like you said, have to be a science business. It could be walking dogs, right? It could be selling snacks and things like that. But starting to learn about how to do market research, how to pitch your business, how to focus on different investment opportunities out there, and what does that look like. And then also with the chemistry side of things, being able to make a product that you can use yourself. So I made my own body scrubber. I made bath bombs for my family and friends. Kids get really excited and interested in that.
We're joined by Cass Fry there, the co-founder of Detroit CHEMpreneurIST, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on the organization by visiting their website, DetroitChempreneurIST.org. That's DetroitChempreneurIST.org, or by visiting ShareDetroit.org and searching under their charities and nonprofits listing for Detroit CHEMpreneurIST. That is Detroit CHEMpreneurIST. And so, you've mentioned multiple times personal care chemistry. Can you define that for us and how that is applied out in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. I often hear that's one of the big questions. What is personal care chemistry? A lot of people think they haven't heard of it. We're really talking about those personal care products and those cosmetic products. And so the science behind those products, what are the different properties that those products have? How are those properties applicable to your skin and to using them on your body? And as well as the properties behind the individual ingredients. And so once students can understand the different ingredients, they're able to actually formulate products utilizing those properties and those ingredients.
We're joined by Cass Fry there, the co-founder of Detroit CHEMpreneurIST, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. And so you mentioned that there are summer programs through Detroit CHEMpreneurIST, and that your organization also goes into classrooms throughout the year. If educators would like to get involved with Detroit CHEMpreneurIST and get them into their classrooms or potentially engage the students in their summer programs, how can they go about doing so?
Yeah, so they can head to our website, www.DetroitChempreneurIST.org. We do have a contact submission form, so they can complete that information and send it over to us, and we would, reach back out to them and connect. You can also email us at info@DetroitChempreneurIST.org, and we can connect that way as well.
That's info@DetroitChempreneurIST.org. We're joined by Cass Fry, co-founder of Detroit CHEMpreneurIST, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on their website, DetroitChempreneurIST.org, and by visiting ShareDetroit.org, where they are one of nearly 300 charities and nonprofits supported by the Share Detroit platform, currently at 291 charities and nonprofits supported at this time. And so there are a number of different ways beyond just getting your classrooms involved or getting your children involved with Detroit CHEMpreneurIST that the community can help support this effort and support STEM and STEAM programs in their community. What are some ways that those in the community that would like to help your organization continue its message and continue its impact on the community for them to be able to participate themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of things going on right now. We are hosting a cell phone fundraiser that is going on until August 7th. We are collecting used cell phones. The only requirement is it must have a battery. So if you have a BlackBerry or a Razor laying around, from 10 years ago, or maybe you just got the latest iPhone and you're not sure what to do with that recent version, we are accepting those. Those cell phones will be utilized. We'll be returning them to a recycling center to receive funds for scholarships. We are hosting a back to school scholarship event in the fall, and it'll be a competition with arts, science, and pitch categories. Students will be able to compete for those scholarships through all the cell phone funds that we collect. We also actively are accepting donations. We utilize DonorBox, PayPal, Facebook Charity. If you're not interested in donating cash, we do have an Amazon wish list available. You could also add us as an Amazon Smile charity. So if you're actively purchasing on Amazon, you can use smile.amazon.com and select us as your charity. We also are looking for volunteers within our program, so not just monetary. We actively are seeking guest speakers, so we bring in different STEAM professionals to our programs to speak to the students. We also host a webinar series every second Saturday. We started it in February of this year, and it goes all the way through December. So the second Saturday from 12 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have different web series. You can tune in. Some of the previous topics we've done were Black women in entrepreneurship. We did disability employment resources and awareness, as well as women in STEAM. And some of the upcoming events that we have are related to mental health awareness, as well as LGBTQ plus individuals in STEAM. And then other things that you could do is simply volunteering. So if you would like to volunteer in some of our workshops, volunteer and work with our students and share some of your knowledge and information, we would love that as well.
More information on their website, DetroitChempreneurIST.org. You can also send them an email at info@DetroitChempreneurIST.org or call them 313-536-0714. That's 313-536-0714. And Cass, before we let you go, just for reference for the summer programs, but also for those educators that either later on in the school year, as it approaches its end this year or next school year, would like to have Detroit CHEMpreneurIST be in their classroom. Can you take us through briefly just the experience of that day or that opportunity and what the kids will experience and learn in that day?
Yeah, absolutely. So our program is very dynamic, and in that sense, we meet the organization where they are. So they can sign up from anywhere from 2 lessons, so that's simply 1 personal care chemistry lesson and 1 entrepreneurship lesson, all the way up to 8 lessons on each subject. We offer these lessons, we can do them in a half hour, we can do them up to 2-hour lessons. So depending on how much content you want to get and how in-depth you want to get with the curriculum, we have flexibility. We've done things once a week, twice a week. So really, it's all up to the organization and what their schedule looks like and what their individual needs are. Now, within the program, the more lessons an organization signs up with, the more, again, in depth that content is. So on the personal care chemistry side of things, you're going to get an introduction into personal care chemistry. You're going to get an introduction into formulation and mixing instructions. We do activities like make body scrubs for that, so students can have something tangible. From there, we continue to learn about different properties of those products. So we do a lesson on pH. We do a lesson on mixtures and solutions and all of the different types of mixtures and categories of mixtures out there. Then we continue on, we learn about extraction and concentration, where we make a natural dye, and we actually utilize that dye in our next lesson to make a bath bomb. And then finally, we conclude our programming in chemistry by starting to design and develop our own personal care products. So whether that's inspired by a product that you use, or maybe it's a whole new product that's not on the market that you've created, students have that opportunity. On the flip side, in entrepreneurship, we're going to learn about different types of businesses that you can form. We're going to learn about how to do market research. We're going to talk about empathy and how important that is as being an entrepreneur. And then from there, we're going to continue to develop and grow these skill sets of entrepreneurs all the way through a business model canvas and pitching our products or our business idea to stakeholders and investors.
Cass, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me today. And I do want to give a shout out to Share Detroit for the opportunity as well to be here.